So again, if we're talking about mindfulness and what I was calling non-binary, one of the greatest examples for this non-binary consumer, which I think companies need to bear in mind whenever they communicate with consumers, is the fact that consumers do not want to fit themselves into a box. So we saw a lot of, I think the vegan community is really one of the greatest examples for that, because the vegan community is usually less accepting for people who do not define themselves as vegans. They are generally plant-based. They might eat fish, they might eat eggs, but they're generally plant-based. And we know that 90% of the consumers of plant-based protein actually consume meat. So we see that people are always trying to adopt several trends that they think are better for them or their society, and they don't want to fit into a box. They won't call themselves vegans or vegetarians or pescatarians or whatever. Also, we see people who are trying different lifestyles, such as keto. Paleo is already way down, but we had paleo. And they are trying these kind of lifestyles, but they're not necessarily ketoists. So again, just trying to think non-binary, and this mindset, I think, will help us going forward. Purpose, and this is an example for the stay home movement. We see here in Instagram, almost 22 million posts that are that include the hashtag stay home. This shows how a huge cause can actually transform people's lives once everyone decides to do that. And in many things, when we talk about, for example, plant-based, which is a trend that we all know, even if we don't want to know, that is better for the environment, that we need to reduce the consumption of meat and dairy, that we can do a lot by, traveling less and many other things that we can do for the environment. When we ask people, why don't you do that? They say, it won't be helpful if only I do that. And we definitely see that about the stay home movement. Wherever people thought that other people were not respecting this demand to stay home, they started going out. They didn't want to be quarantined alone. So this the ultimate understanding that we have to do something as a society, this is a huge shift for consumers. The understanding that their actions really have impact of going forward. Herd identity. We know that group behavior is contagious. That if your spouse is eating unhealthily, you will too. And the other way around, a spouse that loses weight will likely cause the other person to lose weight. But we also see this in bigger groups. Your friends affect what you think and what you do, obviously. And I want to also suggest that and it's not, it's not my idea, it's of course the reality, that the online groups that we are part of and that we follow, and of course influencers is right there in the name, infect or influence us and our identity. So if we follow someone because of something entirely different that they do, for example, a beauty influencer that talks about her being vegan, it is likely to cause people following her to at least consider being vegan or just adopt some plant-based behaviors. So just because we're following a person for another reason doesn't mean we won't be affected or infected by their ideas. And one of the things I think will happen is that there will be a vacuum created by the lack of purpose. Right now we have a huge purpose. Stay home, fight hunger with us, thanking healthcare heroes. We have a purpose in life. But once this purpose goes away, we can just go on with our lives, you know, with work and kids and everything in between, we will find lack of purpose kind of depressing. It's sort of a catharsis. And I do think that this will lead to activism, to purpose-led tribal activism. People will find groups that have ideas that they can relate to, and they will be more active in regards to these causes. And I think this is important for brands because we have, you know, an opportunity here to tap into ideas, because we saw that purpose is a huge mega trend, purpose and ethics, and we want to help people be better people. I think right now we can promote our ideas and our you know, our values and our purpose, and really create communities around those. And the brands that will do that first will benefit